Welcome to Passion and Purpose with Pamela, celebrating all things woman. I'm Dr. Pamela Hardy Shepherd, here to ignite inspiration through conversations that spotlight women's power and their journeys. Let's share our light, our stories, and create a space of celebration for every woman. Here's to embracing our womanhood together. Welcome back to Passion and Purpose with Pamela. Today we're joined once again by the inspiring Professor Bonita Bryant, educator, creative visionary, and fierce advocate for adjunct faculty. Bonita is a wife, a mother, a sister, a friend who brings passion and purpose to everything she does. Her academic journey began as a pioneer in online learning at the University of Phoenix, earning her degrees in business information systems and instructional design while raising two sons. She's the founder of Adjunct PowerHouse, a vibrant YouTube channel and digital hub for empowering part-time instructors with tools for student engagement, burnout recovery, and self-care. Whether you're teaching Gen 101 at the University of Arizona Global Campus or creating uplifting content online, Professor Bonita Bryant leads with authenticity, heart, and a deep love for learning. Let's welcome her back and dive into another powerful conversation. All right, Bonita, we are so happy to have you return. And if you could just give us a little bit about your journey from the last time we were here, we were so excited to hear it. So
first, I want to say thank you once again for having me on your podcast. I enjoyed my last experience so much. And as I was just sharing with you, my nerves get the best of me every time we do this. So thank you for always knowing how to relax me. And I went through my woosai moment, so it's all good. So what I've been doing since we last spoke, I officially retired from education December 2024. And it's been a journey. It's been an adjustment process. I am still trying to learn what to do in retirement, but I have now been able to not trade my time for money. So I have my own opportunities to learn some new things, and that's what I've been doing. I have taught myself over 7 to 8 different AI tools that allowed me to create videos, that has allowed me to post videos on LinkedIn. I created a new Facebook page called Adjunct PowerHouse, where I'm targeting part-time faculty members who are underrepresented, underpaid, just not in the public eye the way I would like them to be. I post content every week, giving them motivational tips, time management tips, things that I've learned over the last 40 years of being in that educational arena. And I have so much love in my heart for doing things that mean something to me. I talk to a lot of adjunct faculty over the years since I used to oversee hundreds of adjunct faculty at a time. And that is no joke. I think at one point, I had 300 faculty members that I had to oversee and see how they were doing in their classrooms. And it just gave me the thought of, okay, you've done that. Now, why don't you do that from a consulting standpoint? And so that's how Adjunct PowerHouse got birthed. And it has been a passion project because I love your title of your podcast. My passion was always to just be creative, but at my own pace and doing things my way. And unfortunately, in an 8 to 5 where you're working for someone else, you just don't have that ability. Now I'm able to do my digital designs. I'm able to think about how I want it to look, what I wanted to say without someone stopping me saying, nope, you need to do it this way. You need to do it that way. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. And I just released my first ebook with Amazon KDP this week. So I'm excited about that. And it's called Adjunct PowerHouse Success Strategies for Online Instructors.
I love that, because one of the things is that
a lot of times adjunct faculty, go over say funkity, faculty do not get the kind of resources and services. So tell me a little bit about some of the issues that they are seeing and some of the things that you deal with when you're trying to help adjunct faculty.
Sure. So one of the things I started doing in my classroom is creating short tutorial videos. So I pivoted away from the student videos to faculty videos to help them understand what it was I was doing in my classroom and maybe how they could utilize some of the AI tools to create videos in their classroom. So one of the things I see in our adjunct space is that time management is very difficult. I'm currently teaching a class right now that just started on Tuesday. I have 31 students in my class. Excuse me. And 31 students is quite a few, and so far no one's dropped out yet. So it looks like at the end of this week, I still may have 31 students. It just depends on Friday and see what happens. But at the same time, I love teaching, so that's fine for me. It gives me that challenge piece. But one of the things that a lot of adjunct faculty talk about is how do we balance out our time with that many students and still provide optimal responses to our students in a timely fashion. And so I have learned how to use AI prompts in ChatGPT to help me literally scan student information. So when I respond, I'm responding directly to what they are talking about. And I'm not going all over the place. I'm not trying to figure out how to say something differently to every student. I'm using their words. I'm using their thoughts and their desires. And when I respond, it's literally coming from a place of, oh, okay, here's your situation. This is what I'm going to do for you. And then yesterday I got an email from one of my students, and she said to me, I can tell that you are using your thoughtfulness to respond to me.
I love
And
it.
I was like, wow, okay, that's why I teach, because this woman is going through some things in her life, and she's already told me I might need a little extra support, need a little extra help. So what I did is I created a new prompt that dug deeper into responding to my students. And this new prompt gave me the ability to really target specific areas that I saw that these students were having. So each student has a different situation. Of course, it makes sense. So my prompt now allows me to target those not errors, I didn't mean to say that, those situations that they're bringing to me. And my response to them now is very authentic, but at the same time, I can still juggle 31 students.
Stop for a moment.
You did too. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's some of the things, and pay is another thing. We don't have a very equitable pay. So you have 31 students, but you're going to get a base salary, and they're not going to change really that salary. If you do your contract, you're going to get X number of dollars per hour, and they're going to base it on the number of students who, unfortunately, by the end of week 2, if they withdraw, they're going to base it on the number that's left in your classroom after the second week.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, before I ask that, let me go back to the prompt. When you said you had a prompt and what you were using in the prompt to make it more authentic, is it something that you created yourself okay, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So in ChatGPT, they allow you to go in and just explore your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. And ChatGPT and I have been friends for like 2 years now, right? So it knows me. It actually knows about my instruction, my faculty support role. It knows about everything I used to use it for when I was working. So what it does now for me, it dives into my teaching side, and it knows that I teach. It knows that I have responses on a weekly basis to discussions, to quizzes, and to assignments. So for example, yesterday I created a week 1 quiz prompt, and I just made it robust. And I asked ChatGPT, create a robust prompt that will give me detailed information based on this student's response. And so it
Mm.
gave me a prompt that I could use that was just definitely more substantial for the student. And I learned that again. I watch a bunch of YouTube videos and I watch all the Chat GPT gurus, and they were like, yeah, ask them to optimize your prompt. Write it in your head, write it down on paper. It don't have to be perfect, but say, I would like you to optimize my prompt. So I use optimization now to optimize my prompts based on what it is I'm trying to, what my results, I want the results to be. Because
Correct.
before I was just using a prompt that was kind of like not really well formatted, but optimization allows ChatGPT to optimize your prompt for you before you actually plug it into the student information.
Wow. So now I want to go back to, you start out with 31 students, you're helping 31 students in the process, and then some of them drop. And so the pay gets dropped according to who finishes the class, not what
So
you,
yeah,
you
so
can,
the way they work that is that if you have X number of students in the classroom, they will look at student count,
Mhm.
right? And so they expect you to teach a minimum of 14 hours per week. Okay. And that's also based on student count. Um, your hourly rate is based on the number of hours that you spend in your classroom, right? So if you have 31 students, I'm going to spend well over 14
Yes,
hours, right? So
right.
then if you do that, they do allow you to do a second time card to make up for those hours. So to their defense, um, and I've never had to do that before, but now that I'm no longer working full time for the university, I am now on this time card situation, which is so different for me. And I have to log my hours. I have to log my hours every time I'm in there. And I thought about it. I was like, okay, I'm like a real adjunct faculty now, because before I was working full time for the university, teaching for the university, but I wasn't falling under the same guidelines.
Guidelines.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the new guidelines really made all these bells and whistles go off in my head saying, oh, okay. So you can work many, many hours, but if you don't know to submit that time card for those extra hours, you may not get paid what you are worth really at that point.
Mhm.
So I'm learning. Thank God I know the people in payroll really well, because I used to literally work with them every single day for years in San Diego. And so they are like my guardian angels. They're like, oh, no problem. Here, let me show you what to do. This is how you need to do that. And I've had to learn APL in a different way, which is our system that holds our time cards, because I never filled out a time card before,
Right.
you know? And so I'm learning that the way I make my day effective is I use my prompts, I use optimization, I use time management, and I use my handy hard copy to-do list to track where I am. So for example, yesterday I had to grade 31 week one quizzes. I did half, I stopped, I took a 2 hour break, and I went back and I did the other half. Before, I was trying to do all this stuff at one time. Hands was hurting, elbows was hurting, shoulders were hurting. And so I'm learning just how to be more efficient, but I'm using AI tools to be more efficient. And my students, I've been getting nothing but praise. They've only been in my class for 3 days, but I'm getting praise from different ones saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh, I've never received a response like this, because if they email me, I'm emailing them right back. If they need help, I'm emailing them right away. They're not waiting for me for 2 days, 3 days, which
Right.
by law for our teaching, we're supposed to do it within 24 hours, but
Yep.
that's still a long time. So for me, I do it within the day that they send the message. I hope that answers the question. I think I went
It
off on
did
a
answer
tangent.
the question. I was wondering also in terms of, what has it changed in you helping other faculty? What
Oof.
has it changed in you?
Yeah. So ironically, one of the people who work full time for Gen 101, she approached me about being a consultant. She kept saying, Benita, your videos are amazing. Um, we want to start putting it on our page, on our Gen 101 community page and things like that. So they're actually working out something with me right now to start doing that. And when she said the word consultant, I had never thought about consulting from a adjunct faculty standpoint. I always knew I wanted to be a consultant way back in the day. I was like, ooh, but I was like a computer consultant because my background was straight up software, hardware, computers. Then when I started teaching, which took me years to become an adjunct, I am automatically that person who would train other people all the time. My whole life has been training someone on how to use Microsoft Office, how to use the computer in just various ways. I remember copy and paste. No one knew what that was when the when the Windows computer came out there. It's like, what's a copy? Well, how do you paste it? Do I touch the screen to do that? You would not believe the questions I would get. And I was like, don't worry, I got it. So I would hold my hand up and I would say, I'll train them. I'll meet everybody in the conference room and I'll give them a quick little overview. But back then, it wasn't about videos. You might do a PowerPoint presentation, right? And so I would do PowerPoint presentations. But now I can take a PowerPoint presentation, I can turn that into literally a video. I can take a PowerPoint, turn it into an ebook and format it and send it out as a PDF. I can do things back today that I couldn't do back then. So I spent a lot of time training people. Now I spend less time, make my tutorial one time, and then I use my tutorials to help people literally. So I've talked to many faculty members, and now I'm meeting people because I post my videos on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, the first video I posted, I got 1,300 impressions within 2 hours. And I was like, what is that about? But again, there's a need for the conversation that I'm putting out there. And so my content is solely based now on adjunct professors trying to figure out how to maximize their day. That's what my content is about.
I love it. I love it because there's not a lot of I don't want to say training because I remember there was training, but there's not enough. And what you talked about was time management, engagement of the students, and then also that they feel equipped to go out to do the things they need to do, to have the resources. So your your YouTube channel is actually providing that. And if you could tell us a little bit about it, a little more about it, that would help um, adjunct faculty because it is a place that I can go to get resources when I'm teaching. Tell us a little more about that.
Okay, so Adjunct PowerHouse was created basically because I saw a need. And usually YouTube channels, it's all about the niche and the need. And who is your target audience? So I had to learn a little bit about that before I put this channel together. Who's my target audience? What kind of content am I going to put out there, right? And what format am I going to put it out there? So I had already created like 5 videos. So I took those 5 videos that I'd already created and I posted them on YouTube. They were already on LinkedIn page. So now the difference is I take content that I create every week and I can load it up into YouTube and then put it on a timer. So I have something called Motivational Mondays, and that is uplifting content that gives people hope and encouragement. I tell them to take a spa day if they need to. I'll tell them to woosai the way you and I did before this video. I give them tips to help them just get through their day. So that's all about Motivational Mondays. And then on Tuesday or Wednesday, it could be more time management tips, things that will help them get through their day without overloading themselves. So I just talk about some of the tools that I use, like, my calendar system. my paper system. Online systems are great, but I got to have that little tablet sitting there with my little check marks because that helps me stay on track. So I tell them, I share what I do, and then I share other tools that they can use. I give them links to other tools that are available out there. Um, and so YouTube allows me to front load content, put a timestamp on it, and just let it roll out on a weekly basis. So I'm still learning how to do that in an efficient manner. But I basically went to ChatGPT and asked it to give me like 8 weeks worth of content based on this topic, that topic, this topic. And it did that for me. And then I go in and then I make my adjustments however I see fit. And then I upload it into Facebook. And boy, when I keep saying Facebook, YouTube, I've been saying Facebook, YouTube. So
No,
my
you've been
YouTube,
saying YouTube.
yeah, YouTube channel allows me to do that. And again, I'm learning. I'm a learner. I'm always trying to figure things out. And I was like, I'm not getting ready to pay some of these people who are asking $300 for, to be Chat GPT certified. Excuse me, I've been using Chat GPT for a while now, and I don't need your help in that field. Maybe you do know some things, but some of them charge, $347. I'm not mad at them because some people might pay that
Mhm.
$347. But that 347 goes into another amount when they start getting go down that whole marketing thing. So I wanted to be more efficient with my money at the same time. So I spend a couple hours a week learning and try to hone in on this craft of content creation. I'm not one of these little young individuals who have that stuff in their head. They can spit that stuff out so fast. But I'm like, okay, hold on. Let me do it my way. So I'm one of those pause. What did they just say? Rewind. And then in a matter of a couple of days, I have it in here and then I put it down on paper. So that's how the YouTube channel. I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel, Pamela, for over 2 years. It's been in my head. I've spoke it. I never put it on my vision board. And maybe if I had to put it on my vision board, I would have done it faster. But I think it was just retiring that gave me that
Yes,
time
yes,
to do it. Because
yes.
you and I both know it's a big difference between when you're working and when you're not.
It is so true. And the thing about it is, when you look at your content, I mean, you have people talking. I mean, you learn how to make them animated and to be able to talk. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So you got to tell us about that because you make it engaging to the faculty to watch. Explain that because that is no easy feat.
Yeah.
Trust me.
So again, AI has so many tools out there right now, and a lot of them are free. So I went to every free AI tool that I could find. I watch YouTube videos that tell me about the free ones because you have some amazing YouTubers out there who are like me. They're like, look, what does my husband say? My pockets are not as deep as yours, or something he says about money. My pockets are not as deep as yours. So I'm like, okay, even if I had deep pockets, I don't want to spend a lot of money on every app. And
Mhm.
some of them, that's what they're doing, right? They're charging you for every app. So I found some apps that didn't do that. So one of the things that I can do to make them talk is I use Narrakeet. Narrakeet is this amazing voice-over AI tool. So I don't use my own voice. I use one of their voices. They have some other ones out there where you can use your own voice and they're going to charge you to do that. And I was like,
Oh,
okay, no, you're not going to charge me yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not trying to spend money. So I use Cora. And Cora's voice for
yeah.
me is like soothing and relaxing and she's on pitch and it just works, right? So I use that for the voice. I use Gamma.app to create these amazing, um, what do you call it? The framework that goes behind the scenes. So Gamma.app gives you this amazing tool where you can take text and load it into Gamma.app, and all of a sudden you have this amazing presentation. So whatever your text is, you tell that, and it has a embedded AI tool that will generate images for you. So you say, "Hey, I want an African light-skinned girl sitting in a sunlit classroom. And this girl that they created for me, and I always say I want her to have brown hair with golden highlights because that's one of the things I always wanted. I haven't been brave enough to do it, but my characters always have curly brown hair with golden highlights. And and I said a realistic image. It gave me an image that I was blown away. I sat there and looked at the image after a while. I was like, wow, okay, thank you. This is exactly what I wanted. So I use those images and then I go into other tools that help me actually do the animation. And I can't remember the one that I used last because it's been a while, but it was free and gives you credits. And you take your image, you upload it to this tool, and then literally it gives a voiceover with the mouth movement. And I was like, I figured that out probably in 20 minutes.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so my first avatar where she was talking and they only let you do it for only 8 seconds, right? It's an 8 second process, but it was enough for me to say, okay, I'm gonna do a video with them talking. And I have one that's animated with no words coming out, but I learned how to do consistent characters. So the same character, but I'm like, oh, I want her to have on a different top. Oh, I want her to be pointing to the classroom board. And I can make consistent characters literally with this one. Now that I created in Chat GPT. The image was created in Chat GPT. The consistent characters was created in Chat GPT, which I didn't even know that was a thing. And
Wow.
again, YouTuber showed me how to do that. I was like, thank you, YouTuber. And then I did that animated strip that you're talking about, and she's the same person, no features changed, but she's pointing or she's talking or she's in front of a classroom or she's in front of a door. When I was done with that, I literally patted myself on the back. And I was like, you just did that. You learned that.
I
My
love
husband, my husband thinks I'm crazy because when I'm done with stuff like that, I'm sitting there going, what just happened? Right? Because AI has taken over, and people who don't want to jump on board, what they don't understand, yeah, it has to be used in a very responsible way.
yes.
But there's also that ability for you to be creative in a way that you've never been able to do before within a short amount of time.
I love it. I love it. And you talk about the people on YouTube, but you are one of the people on YouTube helping people. So, I mean, you've always been in service to other people and also being an advocate. And I just love the fact that you now have put together an ebook that can go along with this YouTube channel. So tell us a little bit more about that, if you would.
Yes. So that was literally just published this week on Amazon KDP. Um, I went through a tutorial again, learning how to do ebooks. Luckily, Amazon has partnered with another company to allow you to format your ebook in a way where it's going to be published if you do it through their system. And that system allows them to see that everything is in the right format, that the picture quality is of high quality, that the wording is, correct. It just goes through and scans and it checks everything. And so I
Wow.
use that system to create this ebook. Literally, one day I posted it. I got an email from them the next day saying, congratulations, your book has been published.
Oh my
One
goodness.
day. And actually, it was the same day because I was watching a movie with my husband and I look on my phone and it said, congratulations. And I told him, I said, pause, pause, pause. He's like, pause what? I said, pause the movie because we're watching a series. I said, pause the movie. I got to read you this. So, anyway, I'll come back to center. The ebook that I created, the very first one, is called Adjunct PowerHouse Success Strategies for Online Instructors. So what I did with this one is I gave them some tips and tricks, again, in their classroom of how they can manage their classroom in a time efficient manner. I gave them some tips and tricks on how to, and it's like 6 chapters. It's only, and I did it purposely. It's like 6 or 7 chapters, something like that. So it's not a long ebook. It's not like 300 pages. I wanted it to be something where they would be willing to like hopefully go through each page, but it's a lot of content about managing. It talks about stress. It talks about time management. I try to always invoke those same principles when I'm talking to adjuncts. Um, didn't talk about, pay or anything like that, but it was more like, make sure that you understand your self-worth, show up in your classroom as your authentic self, making sure that you are responding in a very nice and effective way to your students. Put yourself in their shoes, because they might be going through some things that you've never gone through before, but you have to, be able to talk to them in a way that gives them hope and keeps them in that classroom, because some of them are like one sentence away from
Yes.
dropping out.
Yes.
You say the wrong thing, just one wrong statement, or, oh, I'm sorry you're going through that, but girl, I can't help you. No, that's not how you respond. And you'd be surprised what
No,
an
I would
instructor,
not.
yeah, exactly, talking to the wrong person. But like I do, that some instructors, the compassion piece is missing.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
stress compassion. I do. I am very compassionate about students going through stuff because I've been there, done that with other things in my life. I wouldn't want nobody to tell me, oh, you know what, I can't help you right now, but good luck. Well, why don't you just withdraw from the classroom? Maybe your next, maybe you'll be okay with the next instructor. No, 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 no. So I try to teach them to be just more like a real person. Think about these people as real people, because they are. Just because we're online doesn't mean that they're not real, right? The
Exactly.
stuff that they go and what they share with me is one of the things that helped me write this ebook as well. I've had faculty members share with me what they're personally going through. I'm
Mm.
in almost in tears, because people don't realize that, yeah, you could be an online instructor and you have students going through some stuff. But boy, the stuff that a adjunct faculty member can go through, because most of them have to teach at multiple institutions just to make up their salary. And so I've worked with people who told me, yeah, I teach for six schools.
Oh my goodness.
I have one lady I worked with literally in faculty affairs. She taught for 10 different schools when she took the job with us. And I was like, what did you just say? She said, yeah, ten schools. And I'm thinking, wow, you must have time management skills. So me and her, I would get her on a Zoom call. I was like, okay, I need to tap into your brain and you tell me how you do that. How did you do that? And she explained her process to me. And I thought about that conversation. That conversation was 3 years ago. It wasn't just recent, but I never forgot it. And so as I was writing my ebook, I'm like, okay, how would I want someone to interpret this information? And how can I do it quickly without overwhelming them? That's how the book came about.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. And that is something when you think about that faculty are actually teaching at various schools and they all have different standards and they have all different kind of mechanisms that they have to jump through hoops. And
Mhm.
so your strategy book is right on time because you know, I would always say in the teaching process, like when you say different faculty are going through different things and the students are, I always say the students have a PhD in the street. They have a PhD behind your words. And when you talk about some faculty do not have compassion because they feel like, you're here, either get it, but sometimes you do have to take a step back and really think about the word choice that you are using with your
Yes,
students.
yes,
And if you can talk about that a little bit.
yes. So words matter. Words hurt, or words can be soothing. You choose, right? It's all up to that person who's having that conversation. Do you want to be the person who has uplifted another individual today? Or do you want to be that person who has torn them down so hard from your words that now they're ready to just say, you know what, I'm not doing this?
Right.
I choose to do the first part. I choose to walk away knowing that I've given them some hope, something. And I know I have a motherly instinct, and I used to be told that all the time when I was working full time. You have that motherly thing. There's Bonita with her motherly thing. Okay, fine. I have 2 grown sons. We have 3 grown sons altogether. Yeah, I'm a mom. Okay, fine. So it's going to be instant for me to think about being compassionate. So I
Mhm.
think that being compassionate with students, faculty, or your friends is part of what God put me on this earth to do, to be that person, a vessel for them to be successful, be that person who can uplift people. I would never want anyone to push me down. I wouldn't want someone's words to cut me to the point where now I'm walking around saying, oh, what do I do? How do I do it? I want our students to be successful, but more so than anything, I want our faculty members to be successful as well. I worked with them for so long, 8 years total of working with faculty consistently, taught me a lot about what personal struggles adjunct faculty members go through. So my words, when I used to literally conduct observations, I had that opportunity to write a full observation of what I saw in their classroom, but mine was going to hit different than probably anybody else in that department, because I'm always going to come from a place of love. I'm going to
Mhm.
come from a place of compassion. So sometimes, maybe my words was maybe a little too soft for some people because they thought that maybe the direction I was going in was not quite right. That's the other beauty of being a individual retired person, because I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that anymore. Um, and then when I'm talking to my students, it's the same thing. I'm still doing observations in the classroom. I'm doing observations all the way around, basically, right? Either
Mhm.
from a faculty standpoint or from a student standpoint. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that I can uplift, provide any type of comfort, and then allow individuals just to feel like they are, that's why I called it Adjunct PowerHouse. The powerhouse was done intentionally. I want them to walk away feeling like I am empowered based on her content. I'm empowered based on her videos, or I'm empowered just by a conversation that I'm having with Bonita that's going to let me walk away feeling like, whew, I feel like $100.
I love it. I love it. Anything else? We're coming to the end, but I want to ask you, is there anything else you want to share that is pertinent, that is right on your heart and your mind that we need to discuss?
I think because of the times we're living in right now, it's hard for a lot of people. My husband and I was talking about that this morning. People are going through some stressful situations. It reminds me of COVID. 2020 was hard on a lot of people. It's almost like I feel like we're going through COVID all over again, but just with a different label on it.
Yes.
So I think just from a compassion standpoint, I just would love for people to understand the importance of just being there for other people. In my job, I'm able to be there for multiple sets of individuals, which I know, excuse me, gives me, um, I feel blessed that I am an online instructor. I feel blessed that I'm a mother, a wife. I feel blessed that I can talk to faculty members now from a different perspective. And excuse me, I just want people to start feeling like, everybody counts, everybody matters. Don't walk around with hatred in your heart. Think about whatever God put you on this earth to do that. You know, Passion and purpose is a real thing. What is it that you're passionate about? And what is the purpose that God put you on this earth to do? How do you get that through to other people? In my case, it is literally, I was always passionate about helping other people, training other people. God has given me that platform to do that. But now the purpose is to uplift and support. And he's given me that opportunity as well. So that's all I can think of. I really hope that someone can take anything positive away from this particular podcast. Um, And I appreciate you again for allowing me to be part of your passion and purpose journey.
It's truly a blessing to have you. Excuse me, my throat's a little.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, it is because the one thing that you made me think about is who helps fill up your vessel. Because I know we are givers, and that's one of the reasons that we connected so well. And it's like, who is filling up your vessel to keep you continually being able to give out? And then I won't ask any more questions.
Well, luckily, I have a really nice network of individuals. So, my husband being number one, he makes sure that anything I tell him about whatever project I'm getting into, whatever project in terms of digital designs, in terms of ebooks, he will test it out. He will be my guinea pig. He makes sure that, he checks for errors in grammar and things like that. And then our three sons, we literally have three very, very grown adult sons, and I can always count on them to give me that uplift, that pat on the back. And then I have people like you and all of my other sister friends who literally allow me to bounce back off of them as well. So filling my cup is, thank God, an easy thing to do because I do have so many people in my world. And when you work online and you get out of that classroom space or you're in work environment, you start feeling a little, depressed. And so I don't feel that without having a umbrella around me. So I use my network to fill me up and to keep me going.
I love it. I love it. Professor, we are so pleased that you came here today. And what you're giving us is exactly what we need. And I just want to thank you for your vision and for your creativity. I mean, you have helped me numerous times. It's like, Bonita, I'm trying to create a picture and I don't even know how to do it. And trust me, she would help me. So I just need you to know that we totally appreciate all of the efforts and who you are and what you have brought to the table. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your service, because that is really what it is. Thank you for your service. And we appreciate you. And of course, we're going to want you back because you're going to be doing a lot of other things and teaching a lot of other people. And so you do have the final word.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You already know how I feel about you. So I am not going to get tissue and I'm not going to cry.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. We love you and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us today on Passion and Purpose. It's been wonderful to connect with you, and I hope you found our conversation as enlightening and inspiring as I have. A huge thanks to our guests who contributed to the discussion and shared their experiences and insights. Your stories are the heartbeat of this podcast, and it's a joy to explore our passions and purpose together. I'm Pamela, reminding you to live with passion and purpose. Until next time, take care and keep reaching for your dreams.